Mick Harford. Thank you so much for joining the Integral Chat. It's brilliant to see you and looking so well as well. You're looking absolutely fantastic, fighting fit, which is brilliant news. Let's talk about the last year for you, because it's probably been the most difficult year of your life, would you say, when you were diagnosed in December 2020 with prostate cancer?
Yeah, it's been a tough 15, 16 months for me. Still fighting the disease. I was diagnosed just before Christmas of last year. I've had all my treatment, all my radiotherapy. I couldn't. There was lots of options and lots of ways that the consultants were going to try and attack it, but I had to do a different way to other people. Because my cancer had spread a little bit into other parts of my body. But I believe it's under control at the moment. I've had all my radiotherapy, still on my treatment, still on my medication. And what I tried to do was try to change my lifestyle a little bit, put myself on a healthier diet, lost a bit of weight. Well, not a bit, just a lot of weight, yeah. And I feel quite good. You may not have me good and bad days, but mainly good days at the moment. And I'm still on monthly meetings with my consultant down at UCLH. So ongoing, trying to stay positive, and just trying to stay as positive as I can. And what we believe is a football club, and what we try to do as a football club, myself, Nathan, and Gary Sweet, we decided to use this incident, if we want to call it, and try and help as many people as we could. So we put the word out there, and we just tried to spread the word. And from my position, I just wanted to try and help as many people as I could. And I think it's been really positive over the last 15, 16 months.
Yeah, it's so good to raise awareness. It's brilliant, the work that you're doing. But talk to me about the lead up to your diagnosis. Had you had many symptoms? Was it something that you were surprised by? What was the feeling like?
I was struggling a little bit, not pain-wise. I was struggling through the night. The symptoms are you're up and down in the middle of the night 3 or 4 times a night. Daily basis, you go to the toilet, then 5 minutes later you want to go back again. You get caught out different ways and stuff and all that. I wasn't in any pain, just little bits of that. Previously, maybe 18 months before that, I did have a high PSA, but there was no cancer detected there at that time. So I believe those 18 months there was a gap in there where I maybe got misdiagnosed or something. So for 18 months, I never saw anyone and never had anything done. Right. So it was just the basic stuff of toilet issues, no pain whatsoever, and a bit like the test you have, and that's why we raised awareness. A bit like the test you have, there's no pain involved whatsoever, and it was a real bolt from the blue when I was told, you us footballers, you know what we like. We think we're invincible. We think we're bulletproof and all that, and most men are like that as well. But when it hits you, it is a bit of a shock. So, and that's why, as I said to before, we try and let as many people know and raise awareness.
What was it like to have that realization that you had a fight on your hands? I mean, I don't know what your prognosis was. I don't know what they said to you, how sort of serious it was at that time. What was it like for you?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm renowned to be quite a strong character, in our football world, in our little football world, and but it's still tough to ask. And I mean, my first thought was, I'm going to beat this. When I met the Macmillan nurse, when she gave me the diagnosis, she said, "Look, this is incurable, and you'll have to live with it, or somehow you'll have it all your life, or it might kill you." So that was the meeting I had when I was told. So it was tough to take, and you get a bit of a shock.
It must be quite scary as well to hear that.
What's very scary, and I relate to is when you're young children and all that, when you're at school and, cancer was a forbidden word when we were kids. And we used to say to when we were growing up as kids, we said, oh, what would you do if you got cancer? Or you'd go out and travel the world, you go and do this, you go and do that, you'll drink as much as you can, and you'll go out every night pulling birds and all that, with respect and then trying to chat to women and stuff and all that, and just have the best time of your life, go on all the best holidays in the world. But trust me, you don't do that, you seem to go back into your shell and you get into a kind of a protective mode. And that's what I did. I changed my lifestyle, changed my diet, cut out of a lot of things, cut out all my alcohol, don't drink anymore. Haven't had a drink for over 16 months now. I miss it a little bit, especially when the lads go out and you go down the pub and you're drinking water. So things are tough, but it's all for the good.
You want to try to prolong your life for as long as possible. Obviously, when you were going through that treatment, so you had radiotherapy. I know from friends that have also had cancer how difficult that process can be. The treatment is tough, isn't it? You must have had some really dark moments.
Well, I'm still suffering from the treatment, from the radiotherapy now, with a lot of toilet issues, and the radiotherapy does do damage to you. You have 40 blasts on a daily basis in the hospital. But yeah, it's great, really. It's not great having the treatment, but it's great the people you meet down there in the same situation as you. I met lots and lots of good people down there, and people who are in the same scenario as you with different kinds of cancer and having the radiotherapy. I met a guy, lovely guy, Johnny Berry. We got chatting, and I said, "Oh, what do you do?" He said, "You got a different accent, from around this part of the world." He said, "Well, neither are you." I said, "Yeah, I know that." And I was in hospital in London. He said, "Yeah, I'm from Birmingham, Manchester." I said, "Oh, what are you doing down here?" He said, "Oh, well, my father was an ex-footballer." I said, "Oh, was he?" I went, "Okay," and all that. And I never said a word. And I said, "Oh, who did he play for?" He said, "Oh, he played for Man United in Birmingham, and he played for England." I went, "You what?" I said, "What's his name?" He said, "Oh, his name's Johnny Berry." I said, "Johnny Berry?" I said, I can't remember him. He went, "Exactly." His words to me were, "Exactly." He said, "No one ever remembers Johnny Berry." And he said it for a reason, because he said, "I've written a book about my father. It's called Johnny Berry, the Forgotten Man," because he was in the Munich air disaster.
Right.
So so over the next 3 or 4 weeks, we kept in contact, and he brought the book in for me, and I read his book, and really, really interesting stories, and going down to have your radiotherapy, and you meet people like that, and it just takes your mind off it, and it gives you a bit of relief when you're down there, when you meet those lovely people and all that who are suffering the same as you.
That is a lovely story. Is he okay now? Do you know?
I don't know. We never swap numbers. I hope when I go back on a monthly basis that I bump into him, but I haven't of late.
Maybe he'll see this. Maybe we'll be able to find out. Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully he's fighting fit as well.
Yeah, he's got a good story to tell. Yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you mentioned briefly earlier you're from that era where men, don't talk. They're supposed to be tough guys. Did you manage to share the way the way you were feeling at that time, your fears with your close family and friends? I know that you eventually you made it public, but of course, for the first few months, you kept it to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. You share it with your family, obviously, the closest to you, and I've had magnificent support, especially from my family. And when we did open up and told the people that I would be finishing work for this reason, the support I got was unbelievable, and it gives you great strength, and give me a lot of positivity. The people I knew the Luton Town family was massive, and I knew they were good, but I just realised how good they were to me, and support I've had from them over the past 9-10 months has been very welcoming and absolutely amazing. The support's been unbelievable, and I can't thank them enough. I can't thank everyone enough. You know, speaking to you, it gives you strength, and it gives you a bit of belief that you can conquer this. You know.
Exactly. Does it give you different perceptions, different perspectives, I should say, on your life and what you want to take from it from now on?
Well, it does, and I said, like, when you're a kid and all that, you know, you think, oh, if I had cancer, I'd be doing this, I'd be doing that. But yeah, it does open your mind. You know, you still have these dark days. You have real dark days, and everyone will tell you that. You have good days and bad days. They're mainly good at the moment. You get down a little bit, but yeah, you do have a different perspective on life. Things do change, and that, you know, and those little things don't really matter anymore, and all that, you know. And it's just, you know as well as I do, family means everything, and family comes first, and that's what I've learned massively, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I still have a massive passion for football, and Luton Town is a football club, and it's great to be back in work. And again, you come back into work, and I'm getting support from all the staff and the players. Have been amazing.
It was lovely to see you go back to work, back in the dugout in January. How did that feel, walking back out onto the pitch again for the first time?
Well, I can only use one word. It was really overwhelming for me, and especially my family, and the ovation I got, and the response I've had. And you know, whilst I was off work, all the fans, when they were away games, they were singing my name. I could hear it on the TV, and I went up to Forest for one of our games when Forest played Luton, and they were singing my name behind the goal, and it felt really, really strange and all that, you know. And it's just unbelievable, the support I've had, and I can't thank everyone enough, Bianca. It's been brilliant.
Oh, you deserve it. And also the fact that you're now raising awareness, because this is a disease that will touch so many lives. People still don't realise 1 in 8 men will have prostate cancer at some point in their lives. So if you were to give anyone any advice, or, you know, a message of what they should do, or what, you know, what processes they should take if they even think that they might have the disease, what would you advise them?
Well, it's pretty simple, really. There's no real advice you can give them. What I first say is the test that you have to find out for your PSA level is nothing. It's a little prick in the arm, and that's all you need to do. So There's no fear of going to your doctor. But you know what men are like, to think, oh, they're bulletproof, and they don't need to go and see the doctor. We'll put it to the side for another day. So don't do that, please, and just go and get yourself tested. You probably won't have it. You'll be one of the lucky ones who hasn't got it. So, I mean, lots and lots of my friends have gone and got going to get tested, and they haven't had it. And I mean, so it's definitely worthwhile, because it is a really, what I don't say popular disease, a really disease that's
Common.
Yeah, it's 1 in 8, you know.
Exactly. And Jeff's done a lot of work to raise awareness. Jeff Stelling. I walked from Luton Town to Watford actually on one of his marathons. That was tough to do that, but you know, it's great that you're also raising awareness. Jeff Stelling's got the Man of Men badge that he wears. I think now it is becoming more, you know, everyone's becoming more aware of this disease and how dangerous it is, and just catching it as early as you can is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the likes of Jeff and other people are doing magnificent, and prostatecancer.uk, they're doing magnificent work, and getting the word out there and trying to raise the awareness. You know, the adverts on the TV, they're unbelievable. It's out there. So I mean, Jeff's a trailblazer in prostate cancer, raising the awareness. He's done magnificent things. I think the year before or the year before that, I was on one of his. I met him down at Kenilworth Road.
That must have been the one I was on then, yeah.
So no, Jeff is definitely a trailblazer, and got to give him loads of respect and regard for that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit more about your history, because you because you had an absolutely fantastic career. obviously you are associated with Luton, but you had various spells, didn't you, as a player? You won the League Cup with them. Luton Town just missed out on being in the Premier League that season, didn't they? And I think that was 1991, 92 season. Yeah, they just missed out. And there was talk that you'd be going to Manchester United. Sir Alex has said that he regretted he never signed you. Were you ever close to signing for Sir Alex at that time?
Well, I didn't know till Sir Alex put it in his book. And I mean, when I read the book and someone told me about it, I was shocked really. But if it happened nowadays, I'd have been a Manchester United player, because word would have got out. And years ago, managers spoke to managers. There was no agents. There was no way word got out and about. Just managers spoke to each other. So it was a massive opportunity if it ever come along, but it never happened for me. I was never told about it by our manager David Pleat. I was never mentioned. Never mentioned to me. Bit disappointed. Obviously, everyone in the country as a footballer wants to play for, in my opinion, the biggest club in the country, which is Manchester United.
Yeah, exactly. And they just got pipped to the post for the title that season as well, didn't they? By Leeds.
Well, I'd have probably won it for them,
Well, exactly. Of course you would. And then the following season, you scored Chelsea's first ever Premier League goal. I don't think a lot of people would know that. That's a really good quiz question.
I did, yes. I joined Chelsea in the first year of the Premier League, and we played. Really, really enjoyed my time at Chelsea. Had a great time. We had a good team. The likes of Andy Townsend, Robert Fleck, Dennis Wise, Vinny was there, and some really good players. Graham Lassau, Steve Clark. And we got off to a good start. And I was fortunate enough to score the first goal in then, and it was a goal which is not really recognised by people. The goals that I scored was a 25-yard out volley.
Wow.
So it was one of those goals against Oldham, and Oldham now in League Two, and Chelsea are the world champions.
Exactly.
So it's amazing. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to score Chelsea's first ever goal, and I remind people a few times about that one.
I bet you do. I might have to go and have a look at that after this. Yeah. I mean, but your life is intrinsically linked to Luton Town, isn't it? You're part of the fabric of the club. You won the Football League trophy as a manager. You won the league title in 2019, League One Manager of the Year. What would you say as player or as a manager, what's the proudest moment of your career so far with Luton Town especially?
Well, I forgot all about that. Probably the proudest moment of my career, and I was really pleased that I was playing for Luton at the time. I was playing for England. Stood at Wembley on the halfway line next to Peter Beasley and kicking off against Denmark. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, as a young kid, this is what you wanted to do. This is what you wanted to be all your life. So being a Luton Town player and playing for England was probably the pinnacle of my career. Albeit in my time at Luton, we did have a lot of success, which I'm really proud of. Winning the league title was massive for me in terms of when Nathan left, because we were in a good place when Nathan left, and Gary and the board asked me to take over, and I thought, oh, I've got to keep up the good work and all that. I didn't want to let anyone down, and there was a lot of pressure on me to achieve that. So that was a massive for me also, but playing for England was a massive, really big occasion, and really chuffed. I got the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then I wanted to ask you about when you went to Derby, and it said that you helped Luton Town to stay up when you played against them. Is that true?
Well, it is to the fans. We'll let the fans believe that. Yeah.
So let me just tell the viewers, for anyone who's watching who don't know. So Luton Town have to win to stay up, right? You're now playing for Derby County.
Yeah.
You get an opportunity to head the ball away from goal, but accidentally you end up scoring an own goal that saves Luton's skin. So
accidentally on purpose, yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't make you a legend, you know, the statue is got to be ready and waiting for you, hasn't it, outside?
Well, talking about the goal was, I'll never forget the goal of a guy called Jason Rees, who was an apprentice at Luton. He used to clean the boys' boots when I was a pro there. And he took the free kick from about 45 yards out. He's put it into the penalty area. I've gone to head it and it's skimmed off the top of my head. And it's gone over Peter Shilton. Well, we all know Shilton can't get off the ground. We all know he had the lead boots on that day and all that. And only he really should have saved it. But what I was really pleased about, it didn't really have any bearing on Derby's season. And
Yeah.
it had a massive bearing on Luton's season. So I could go out and Luton that night. So I was really pleased that Luton stayed up, honestly.
Yeah, so it was an accident and it's just Peter Shilton's fault. Okay, I got you. Yeah. You're playing Derby this weekend, aren't you? And you've obviously Wayne Rooney will be in the opposite dugout and I was at their game on Saturday. He's doing an unbelievable job. And you kind of know what that's like as well, because you were manager when Luton Town were deducted 30 points. I don't know what year, was that 2009 maybe?
Yeah. 208, I think.
208.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what it's like. What do you think it's like for him, and what kind of job do you feel he's doing?
Well, he's doing an amazing job and I'm really pleased for him because, I mean, believe it or not, I watched his documentary last night and I really, really enjoyed it. Really nice guy, really proper football man, and everyone knows how good a footballer he was. And I mean, what he's doing at the moment is it's really, really unbelievable what he's doing for Derby. I mean, if he keeps them up, he should be quickly be given manager of the year, you know, because it would be an unbelievable feat. It's a real tough ask because being deducted all those points, when you lose a game and you fall so many points behind after a certain amount of games, you think we can never do this. Then you win a game and the team above you has a couple of wins, then they get away from you, then they catch him back up again. Then what you tend to do is you tend to look at all the fixtures and you tend to think, oh well, if they beat them, and it never ever works out like that, you know, because no one ever can predict what the scores are going to be. But I think what he's done is he's kept the football side and the administration side as two separate things, you know. And I think he's done amazing. The players are working hard for him, the grafting, and he's just kept that other side, all the admin and the what the club's going through in terms of trying to find new buyers and thing and all that. You know, he's obviously involved in that, but he's not portraying any stress, and he's not letting the players get involved in any of that. So he's keeping all of that from them. Obviously, they'll be involved in any updates of takeovers and stuff and all that now. But the job he's doing immense, and they're playing a real good brand of football as well with such a young team.
Yeah, I mean, there must be pressures, obviously, but when you take over and you're so many points behind, you've been in this situation. Is it kind of like you've got a free shot because you're not expected to survive anyway? When it's, you know, 21 points for him, 30 points for you. I mean, it's kind of a miracle if you do survive. So is there less pressure in that sense?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but the players have still got to buy into it. They've got to buy into what he's doing, his philosophy, his structure. I mean, I'm not sure when they got deducted the points or whatever, whether it was before the window closed in the beginning of the season. Then you got to attract players. And we had a 30-point deduction, and then we had no players. And then you got to try and attract players in, and we were in League Two then. So he's got the deduction, trying to attract players to a team that's going to be stuck down the bottom of the league for the majority of the season. So that's a big thing. The recruitment's tough. You just can't. There's no more accolades to give to him in terms of the job he's doing. He's doing a magnificent job, and you're always playing catch up. You might win a game, and then the other team above you might win, and it's then you got to go again on the Monday and pick yourselves up a little bit. So what he's done there is just beyond belief, really.
Yeah, good luck to him, apart from on Saturday, of course.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about Luton Town in general now then. I mean, things are going really great. The work that you guys are doing is fantastic. You're in 8th position now. Yeah. you've not finished higher than 10th in the second tier since 2006. So where you are at the moment is a fantastic achievement. Do you feel like you can sustain this level of performance?
We believe so. We believe we've got a good squad. We're happy with our squad. Obviously, you want to keep improving on a yearly basis. What we believe is, since we got promoted, we know how tough the championship is for most clubs, and especially clubs coming up from League One. We don't like to harp on about it, but our budget isn't the best. It's probably the lowest in the league. But we are building slowly. We build in blocks, and we're building the club slowly. I think we're trying to progress each year, and that's our plan. We never aim too high. We never look down. You know, I mean, we're in the position that I've been at the club since we got into the championship. The first place I used to look was down the bottom of the table, how many points we are from the bottom of the table. Still do now, but the gaps are big. Like we're safe now. I mean, to be safe in February is amazing, and we talked about it this morning. We're really chuffed with that, you know. But no, it's a slow build for us, and obviously, hopefully, it'll all coincide with the new stadium in place. We have planning permission for the new stadium, so hopefully the two will coincide, and one day we'll reach the promised land.
So, I mean, obviously, as we spoke about, this club has been through some, torrid times, having those points deductions and money and financial problems and things like that. Does this feel like a really sort of special era where, you're kind of secure, you're stabilized, and you really can start to sort of think about, the next level?
Well, my team is Sunderland. I'm a Sunderland fan, and I always will be. But my club and my passion is Luton Town, and in my opinion, this is just my opinion, Luton Town have got the best fans in the country, bar none. They are so special. You said it. The ups and downs of the football club has been immense. We come the troubles we've been in, the mess we've been in the conference for 5 years. It's been a slow climb into the championship. Hopefully we can sustain our place in the championship and build as a football club. The club's in a good place. If you build a football club, you have to build it from the top, from the top down. And we believe we have a really good board, 2020, who support the manager very, very well in things he wants to do and how he wants to run the club. So overall, we feel we're in a good place. We're in a good position. We never ever get above ourselves. Never think we can achieve this. We go into every game well organised, well drilled, and just try and make it very, very difficult for the opposition.
What about some of the young players? Because I know that you've had a few that are kind of on the cusp of breaking through. Some have been named on the bench. It seems like a real, there's a real good future there, especially from the academy. Great work's being done at that level as well, because fans love to see that, don't they? Young players coming through. It's
massive for us. Academy is massive for us. And again, I've got to give credit to the board, 2020 board, when we were in the conference, they still kept the academy on where there was no support or from the Football League. So they funded it all themselves and they kept it going. And then we brought a real good crop of players through when we got back in the Football League. And James Justin, who's probably the biggest name to leave our football club, went to Leicester, who's going to go on and have a great career. But no, the academy and bringing young players through and producing them and putting them in our team is massively important to us as a football club.
I can't wait to see a few of those young players come through. It'd be really exciting. Mick, thank you so much for speaking to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and we're just all so happy to see you looking so well, and long may that continue.
No, thanks for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. Really, really, really kind, and just want to send out a message to everyone to say thanks for all your support. It's been amazing, and if there's any guys listening, please do the best thing and get yourselves tested.
Absolutely. Cheers, Mick.
Thank you, Bianca.